When does a student know that it is time to stop the practice just for comfort? Let us see how we can identify it in this sequence. Namaste, welcome to Tummee.com, a platform for yoga teachers and teachers in training to grow, learn, share and expand their knowledge of yoga sequencing. In the previous video, we understood that restorative yoga can help cater the symptom of pain caused by Piriformis Syndrome. So after having started with gentle stretches to the lower back, calves and hamstrings, students rest in Shavasana with bent knees. We will take this stretch a step further by starting with Ardha Ananda Balasana variation, where as the students are in supine position with back comfortably resting, the leg is bent and brought close to the chest to feel a deeper stretch at the glutes and hamstrings. We are trying to activate the muscles and ensure that the students feel this stretch. From here onwards, all the poses are restorative poses, which actually starts working on the syndrome. Another variation of this pose is with the use of bolster, making it easy for the students like this one. So most often, students cannot differentiate between exertion, stretch and pain. So as yoga teachers, the simple question we ask our students when they do the poses are, can you hold this pose without much stress and without the thought of releasing the pose? If the body alignment is such that it is hurting them, they won't be able to take it forward. But if they're exerting themselves too much, soon at some point they will release the pose. But instead, if their body alignment is right and their endurance along with comfort is right, they will be able to hold the pose for long. So this is a way students can understand their body and do the poses. Try this activity in your next class. Doing the pose on both sides of the body, the students go into Supta Suchirandrasana variation. If you see, there is internal rotation and external rotation of hips, which help in giving deep stretch to the inner hamstrings and deeper tendons. A blanket can be placed below the right knee for ease. We are completely focused on helping students by relaxing the pain with good stretches. So we as yoga teachers need to understand the anatomy before we start sequencing for such classes. Next, we head to Setu Bandha Sarvangasana Pada Suchirandrasana. Take some time, notice what muscles are getting activated, which muscles are getting stretched and how will this help your students. The core is engaged, helping in lifting the back off the floor. The quads, lower back and hamstring can feel the stretch, and the concept of strengthening along with stretching will help in holistic healing of the whole body. From here, the student does Setu Bandha Sarvangasana foot on knee. This pose can really help in relieving the pain students go through. So ask the students to place their left sole on the right knee and lift the back off the ground. The thighs might start shivering, and that is because of the weak muscles which we are trying to cater to. We are trying to strengthen those muscles and at the same time give a deep stretch to the hamstrings and piriformis muscles. So the shivering is definitely a good sign. Do the pose on both sides of the body and head to a dynamic pose like butterfly bridge lifts, where the opening and closing of thighs along with lifting and grounding of the back has two-way effect on the body. This pose will make the student wobble when off the ground, and that is because of less muscle activation. So this pose really helps in healing any kind of trauma in the hip region. Also, this pose can be used to overcome any emotional distress caused when the hips are stressed too much. Next, we head to the relaxation section of the class, starting with Parshva Shavasana, where we relax just like we sleep on bed. With eyes closed, ask the students to take their awareness to all the regions we have worked upon. Let them feel the circulation of blood, creation of new energy and strengthening of the back. From here, the students slide into broken wings pose where relaxation and stretch both are happening, which is very calming for the students. Lastly, the student can relax in Shavasana with bent knees or relax in seated forward fold with two chairs. Let the students focus on their breathing, let them analyze their body and then surrender to relaxation. Before they leave the class, each student might have a different intensity of pain. So if they happen to feel any pain around the hips, give them some relaxing pose suggestions that they can practice at home. So this sequence was a combination of stretches and strengthening poses which worked together to make the student strong enough to overcome health issues. Breathing, judging own comfortability, being aware of the body will determine how beneficial the students find the class to be. Practice the class with your students for 3 to 4 days a week and you can modify the sequence. Add more restorative poses or intensive poses. Basically, you have to keep adapting to help your students. Once they start seeing the changes in the body, they will accept yoga as a lifestyle choice, and we as yoga teachers need to influence our students in living a healthy life with peaceful mind. That is what our goal is, to not let them forego their practice just because they feel that the symptoms have reduced. We need the activation to be intact. We suggest that if you are confident in building such sequences, please add your sequences to the comment section below and help your fellow teachers. And if you need any help, please drop in a mail so we can help you out in sequence building. And if you have any requests with regard to yoga poses, please drop in a mail and we would be glad to add them to our library. The next sequence will be restorative yoga for high blood pressure. So subscribe now and don't miss out on some helpful tips. Thank you and stay tuned.